group of friends embark on a vacation to an Australian island, setting the stage for what appears to be a horror narrative. The game, Rot in Paradise, comes from the creator of Dead Plate and carries an ominous warning. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. The protagonist arrives at the meeting point, worried about being late. They encounter June 1st, who initially seems alarmed by their presence, but quickly covers it up. Veo appears next, expressing relief at seeing the protagonist. Veo demonstrates how well they know the protagonist, accurately predicting their behavior of staying up all night before an exciting event, oversleeping, panicking, and rushing to arrive. Veo mentions having packed things the protagonist likely forgot. Two more friends join the group, Carmen, nicknamed Carmy, and another called Junebug. The friends discuss their excitement about having all five of them together, mentioning how rare it is due to their various responsibilities. Ryan arrives last, completing the group of 5 friends. They spot their boat to the island, which is impressively nicer than expected. The group then heads to check in at the resort. While one friend handles check-in, the others discuss their vacation plans. These include napping on luxury furniture, going to the beach, scuba diving, and inspecting room quality. They learn that check-in has been pushed back a couple hours. The friends decide to explore while waiting. 2 of them head off together and approach a drink station. An aggressive stranger grabs one friend's wrist, and when the other intervenes, the stranger splashes a drink on them before fleeing. The group reunites after check-in is completed. They discuss the incident with the stranger, with some jokingly suggesting violence against the aggressor. They head to their cabins to clean up and settle in. In their room, Carmen reaches for drinks in the minibar, but another friend stops her, warning about hidden charges. Ryan reveals he brought his own personal minibar in a cooler, drawing criticism for bringing cheap canned beer instead of enjoying resort cocktails. One friend expresses feeling cabin fever and wants to go sightseeing, while another insists they should unpack first. They discuss the ferry schedule. It returns Monday at 11 a.m. and leaves at noon, emphasizing the importance of being packed on time. Left unsupervised while one friend showers, the protagonist decides to explore the resort alone, despite instructions to unpack. They access a map with fast travel options to various locations, including the lobby, buffet, and beach. The protagonist explores the buffet area, wondering if the resort accommodates Vaughn's dietary restrictions. They then visit the bar, noting that Carmen would have enjoyed the cocktails and atmosphere. The protagonist finds the beach surprisingly empty. As the sun begins to set and the ferry has already departed, they decide to head back to find their friends. The night is just beginning, with potential party activities ahead. There's debate about whether sharks are pack animals and if they're local to their vacation area. Someone mentions sharks waiting offshore at night, leaving only guts to wash up on shore. The conversation takes a lighthearted yet macabre turn as they joke about appetite and sharks not standing a chance against them. One vacationer expresses gratitude for the getaway, mentioning they needed this break after helping a cousin who recently left a problematic friend group. The group toasts to recharging for the rest of the vacation. There's teasing about someone being difficult during planning, which creates momentary tension. An incident occurs where someone appears to choke on something metallic and sharp. The person is escorted out of the bar by staff. The remaining friends debate about what they saw, with some insisting it looked like metal, while others are skeptical. The strange occurrence leads the group to decide on ending the night early, planning to save energy for the remaining 2 days. The next day, Saturday, brings beach time. Two friends bond over critiquing terrible cocktails that Carmen ordered and abandoned. They mock the drink's qualities and prices, finding joy in their shared disdain. The conversation shifts to observing someone swimming far out in the ocean. Friends discuss beach activities. One wears a swimsuit for looks rather than swimming and considers building sandcastles. They note Ryan is being a party pooper and jokingly declare it a federal offense, especially since it's supposedly his birthday, though it's actually in March. They playfully plot to bury him in the sand. More beach banter ensues as friends tease each other about sunbathing, swimming capabilities, and potential activities like chicken fights. While relaxing, they spot an older man struggling in the water. Initially, there's hesitation to help, despite one having lifeguard experience. Finally, someone goes to assist the struggling man. After rescuing the old man, the rescuer returns confused by the man's bizarre, ungrateful behavior. The man had made cryptic comments about taking back what's rightfully hers. The friends check if the rescuer is okay while trying to make sense of the strange encounter. Saturday night brings increasing strangeness. There are disjointed comments about a ship sinking and the old man possibly being a passenger. One person complains of a headache and seeks water, noticing the weather has unexpectedly changed. Things escalate as McCoy begins acting erratically with a water jug, making cryptic statements about everyone becoming water and causing injury. This creates tension and separation among the friends. Others begin exhibiting strange water-obsessed behavior. A search for friends and resort staff yields only more strange encounters. The protagonist finds Vaughn eating seafood at an odd hour despite dietary restrictions. Attempts to stay with other friends are rebuffed with uncharacteristic hostility. Carmen makes concerning comments about Ryan, freaking out. By Sunday morning, the situation has deteriorated further. The protagonist discovers Carmen standing in the rain, behaving oddly and dismissively. McCoy has disappeared, presumably to the water. A search of the resort reveals other guests shaking and in apparent pain, with an emptied buffet suggesting excessive consumption. Someone mentions needing to give fish back, while others stand eerily in the rain. The resort appears to be deteriorating, with parts of it falling apart. McCoy, one of the guests, is found outside in the pouring rain near the water. A character warns McCoy that it's dangerous to be near the waters, but McCoy insists on staying outside. There's reference to an argument from the previous night. The narrator notes they haven't seen Ryan, who might still be normal, and decides to head back to the lobby. Ryan appears and confirms that something bad is happening at the resort. Both Ryan and the narrator are relieved to find someone else who notices how strangely everyone is acting. Ryan had started questioning things when he found his cooler empty, while the narrator had already noticed the resort falling apart, the river going wild, and unresponsive island residents. Ryan explains that all the alcohol containers were empty. He became concerned about Vani and Carmen possibly being sick. When checking on Carmen, who was coughing, she appeared physically fine, but kept dismissing Ryan and talking about being thirsty, even trying to drink from the faucet. The narrator shares a similar experience with McCoy, who was aggressively drinking from a water jug. Carmen had screamed at Ryan to leave her alone. Ryan admits he thought it might be a zombie apocalypse situation and isolated himself as a precaution, believing the other's strange behavior might be contagious. They agree that caution is necessary before interacting with the others. Ryan suggests getting to safety and regrouping, proposing they take a boat back to the mainland to get help. However, they discover all the boats are ruined, not from storm damage, but something else. The narrator becomes emotional about the situation. Ryan comforts them, and they remember the ferry comes on Monday. They plan to survive one more night, then grab their friends and get them to the boat in the morning. They decide to seek shelter from the rain. Later that night, the narrator expresses concern about potentially being left behind and losing their friends. Ryan reminds them that their friend's behavior is abnormal, pointing out how they've been pushing the narrator away and becoming aggressive, which isn't how friends should act. The narrator discovers their friends are all heading back to the sea. McCoy is trying to swallow chains, presumably to sink himself. The narrator realizes someone had tried to make a girl swallow metal for the same purpose. The friends appear to be constantly consuming liquids and look dried out. The story concludes with ambiguous endings that feel abrupt. A helicopter is heard, confirming this was a real event.